Sagittarius, March is going to be a very interesting month for you in a good way. It's going to be time to sort of kick back, relax, and enjoy yourself, have fun. There's a lot that's coming your way, and I kind of get the sense that you may need this downtime in order to prepare for what's ahead. Interested in finding out what I'm talking about? Keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, Sag? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Sag, this is going to be the astro forecast and tarot scope for you for the month of March 2021. I have to say off the bat, I like the astrology of March. It's really chill. All of the planets are going direct. There's no retrograde energy. So I feel like we're able to move forward free and clear of any obstacles or any wonky retrograde energy. So for that, I know I'm definitely thankful. I also feel like it's a nice little break from a lot of the crazy planetary energies and intensity that we've been feeling and experiencing over the last couple of months. It's a nice lull because in about 2 months, we're going to get into eclipse season, and you already know how eclipse season is. It can be very tumultuous. So enjoy this downtime, right? And particularly this month, there is very much an air of love. Love is definitely in the air, despite the fact that we are very far removed from Valentine's Day. But that's because we've got quite a bit of planetary energy in the sign of Pisces. So before I get ahead of myself, let's just get into it and discuss everything in order, right? So we always talk about the sun first. And for you, Sag, there's a heavy emphasis on your 4th house of home and domestic affairs and your 5th house of self-expression. So Pisces season is what is lighting up your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. And so during Pisces season, you guys are really going to be connected to family, thinking about family, and most importantly, bonding with family, because Pisces is very much about emotions. It's about being selfless. It's about doing things from your heart. So you might find that you may be taking care of a family member. You may be strengthening some of your emotional bonds with family members, particularly when Mercury goes into Pisces. But I'll talk about that a little later on. But yeah, your 4th house is definitely lit during Pisces season, and that's definitely all about your family and your familial relationships. Yeah, so your 4th house is definitely what is lit, at least for the first part of the month. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's also known as the dustpan of the zodiac because that's where everything, all the remnants from all the other 11 signs get swept up into Pisces. And Pisces is all about tying loose ends because it's sort of like the December of the astrological calendar. Because once the sun moves into Aries, and that will occur on March 20th, correct? March 20th. That is the new year. That's the actual new year. And that's when we start fresh and we start with a clean slate. So for you, Sag, Pisces season is really about tying up those loose ends, particularly of the emotional kind when it comes to your family. Because once the sun moves into your 5th house of self-expression and into Aries on March 20th, I feel like that's going to be the time that you want to start anew and express yourself. Get into creative endeavors, have some fun, and sort of exude that childlike energy. It's a great way to start off the year with a light heart and full of sort of optimism and passion. So that's what's going on with respect to the sun this month. So again, heavy 4th house and 5th house emphasis for you, Sag. All right, so moving right along, let's talk about the moon. So we have a new moon in the sign of Pisces on March 13th, and then we have a full moon in the sign of Libra on March 28th. So the new moon in Pisces is going to be very dreamy, very romantic, very idyllic, right? Because Neptune is going to be playing a major part. Both Neptune and Venus are going to be playing a major part in the new moon in Pisces, again, happening on March 13th. New moons are all about setting new intentions and planting new seeds. And for you, Sag, this is going down in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. So whatever intentions you want to set related to your home, whether you have projects that you want to do at home, whether you want to work on close family relationships, whether you want to start a family, whether you have real estate deals that you want to put into place, the new moon is going to be the time to set those intentions and plant those seeds. And again, being that this is in Pisces and with the presence of Neptune around conjunct this new moon, you're going to want to use your imagination and you're going to want to dream big, be imaginative, and wear those rose-colored glasses when you set those intentions. I guarantee you won't regret doing it 6 months from now when whatever seed you're planting actually come to fruition. So keep that in mind with this new moon. All right. And then we have the full moon happening in Libra on March 28th. And is it the 28th? Yes, it's the 28th. And this is going down in your 11th house of friendship and goals. Full moons show you the culmination of past events, particularly past events from the previous new moon in Libra. So think back to 6 months ago when the new moon in Libra was happening again in your 11th house of friendship and goals. Were there any goals that you set into motion? Were there any seeds that you planted with respect to friendships or associations? If so, by the time this full moon rolls around on the 28th, that's when you're going to see the culmination of whatever seeds you planted back then. Otherwise, full moons tend to just illuminate things that have been hidden. And particularly with the presence of this full moon in the sign of Libra, it's going to illuminate where you've been experiencing imbalance. And for you, Sag, this may be an imbalance concerning yourself and your self-identity and your self-autonomy on the one hand, and on the other hand, your associations and your role and identity in groups that you associate with. So this full moon is going to also, this full moon could illuminate something happening with a friend or concerning a friend that's been hidden, that may come to light, that may prompt you to maybe pull away and maybe sort of regain your self-autonomy in respect to this friendship. But either way, that's how that full moon is going to be playing out for you, which is again on March 28th in the sign of Libra. Moving right along, let's get to Mars, because back on March 3rd, Mars made its way into the sign of Gemini, which is your 7th house of relationships. So this is where this is the area of your life where you are going to experience a turbo boost of energy. Now, even though we're talking about relationships, the 7th house is all about committed relationships, but Mars in Gemini is not necessarily the committed type. Mars is sort of all over the place, experiencing a lot of new things, experiencing a lot of different people, being a social butterfly, and sort of spreading your wings or your seed all over the place. So this may be a season for you where you exercise your options, or where you just engage with a lot of different people. Particularly if you're single, this is a good time to really get out there and have some fun, right? Mars energy is very non-committal. It's very, physical based. So there could be a lot of sex going on. But it's not really that lovey-dovey, let's get married kind of energy. So keep that in mind throughout March and through the beginning of April, okay? Moving right along, we've got Mercury. On March 15th, Mercury is going to make its way into Pisces. Now, Mercury is in detriment in Pisces. It's not very comfortable in Pisces because Mercury is very cerebral. Mercury is all about logic. It's about facts. It's about, skills. It's about communication, ideas. And in Pisces, Mercury is forced to be very creative and flowery and intuitive, right? For you, Sag, this is going down in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. And although Mercury is in detriment in Pisces, I kind of like this transit for you because it allows you to forge deeper emotional bonds with close family members, because you're really going to be speaking from your heart, and you're going to be using your intuition and sort of your emotional side to express yourself and communicate with the people that are closest to you. So this transit really could get you guys closer together. You might find it difficult to sort of articulate your emotions in exact words, but I wouldn't worry about that because Mercury in Pisces is all about the feeling, not so much the words. So don't be afraid to open your heart and express yourself, particularly as it relates to your family And that's when Mercury moves into Pisces. And again, that's on March 15th. And then finally, we're going to talk about Venus, because Venus is going to move into Aries on March 21st. And this is, again, your 7th house of, no, I'm sorry. That's Mars is moving into your 7th house. Venus is going to be moving into your 5th house of self-expression. So this is the time where you're going to want to really get out there. Aries is all about initiating things. And Venus in the 5th house is about experiencing romance, but in a dating sort of way, in a non-committal sort of way. So you guys may really want to get out there and start dating. If that's what you choose to do, the energy is available for you to do that. Venus in Aries in the 5th house also speaks to having fun and valuing your entertainment, meaning valuing your downtime. Life doesn't have to be so serious. You guys may want to start a lot of creative endeavors. Venus rules creativity, and the 5th house is all about creativity and self-expression. So if there's any creative endeavors you've wanted to begin, now, once Venus moves into Aries, would be the best time to do that. Venus in Aries is also going to highlight perhaps your relationship with your children. This relationship is not going to be lovey-dovey. I feel like it's going to be very blunt. It's going to be very direct, and it's going to be very impatient. And I feel like that's how a lot of people feel about their kids for the most part, at least some of the time, right? But I also feel like this Venus transit is going to highlight that relationship as well. What's interesting about Venus in Aries is that Venus is not someone who Venus in Aries does not dwell on the past. Any wrongs done in the past are sort of glossed over, and it's more so about moving forward and starting anew. So if you've been having issues with your children, particularly with things in the past, things may not have gone the way that you expected in the past, Venus in Aries might give you sort of that clean slate energy to sort of move past things and start anew. So keep that in mind if that applies to you. All right, Sag, that has been your astro forecast for the month of March 2021. If you'd like to know more about what March has in store for you, the link to the monthly horoscopes is in the description box below. So check those out, and don't forget to read for your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, so now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, Sag, so you know the deal. We start out with the oracle cards for an overarching broad message, and then we circle back in with the tarot for more specific stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. We've got safe travel. Nice. Every time I get this card, I hear you are free to move about the cabin. You know, like when you're on the plane and the plane reaches a certain altitude, and once it reaches that altitude, you can take off your seatbelt, you can go to the bathroom, you can get up, stretch your legs. Now is a good time to move forward, or now is the right time to move about. This is giving me very much Venus in the 5th house in Aries for you. So once Venus transits into Aries on March 21st, I believe, I feel like it's going to be a good time to branch out, particularly when it comes to dating, particularly when it comes to having fun. I feel like you had obligations, or you had things that kept you in your seat. You had to keep your seatbelt on, right? You couldn't move forward. You sort of had to sit and wait until the right time. I'm getting very much a heavy obligation vibes. There were things that you had to do. The 5th house covers fun and entertainment. So it's almost like you have to do your homework first. You have to take care of your obligations first, and now is the time to have fun. You've reached the altitude at which you can have fun, relax, kick back, stretch your legs, stretch other things if you'd like. You get what I'm saying, right? The time has come for that, so that's a good thing. All right. Interesting. We've got mirroring, and as you can see from this card, it's two people that are facing each other. So this could be a romantic sort of relationship thing, but I don't know, I'm getting something about kids for this. Like, your kids mirror you. You know how children are the greatest expression of you, right? It's literally your copy in a sense. There's something about your relationship with your children that's mirroring, or that's showing you something about yourself. We'll get more into this with the tarot, but keep that in mind. And then we've got opportunity. This is exactly what it sounds like. There's a wonderful opportunity that's coming your way, or that has already presented itself. Okay. I'm getting the sense, it almost seems like these are 3 different messages. I don't get that this is one cohesive message, but I think that, yeah, I'm being called to read these in 3 different messages. Okay. So first, this Venus in Aries vibe with you being like, it's time to have fun and all of that. Oh my goodness, my nose is just, this always happens when I do readings. My nose starts to tickle me. Sorry. All right. So let's get this first message. All right. So this is safe travel. What do we have on safe travel here? Okay. We've got the Hierophant. Interesting. So some of you, this could be, I'm getting like Taurus season. And not the Taurus season that's coming up, the past Taurus season. I feel like since Taurus season, some of you have been sort of in your seat with your seatbelt on. You've been taking care of obligations, something about a leadership role or being part of some sort of organization, some sort of obligations that you were taking care of or you had to address. Yeah. And that is, I definitely feel like come Aries season, it's like you're going to be relinquished of those responsibilities. Something about being like in a leadership role. For some of you, I'm hearing, I don't know, like PTA or something having to do with your kids, maybe your kids' school, where you had a leadership role and you had responsibilities to take care of. And I feel like you're going to be relinquished of those responsibilities, or even if it's not that, there's this organization you may have been part of, or maybe perhaps this could be in your work, especially if you work for yourself, where it's not going to be so serious right now. You're not going to have so many responsibilities. You're going to have the opportunity to really have fun and enjoy yourself now. Oh, okay. Maybe it's time for love, because at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Lovers. And again, this is all taking place in your 5th house. Your 5th house has a big emphasis come Aries season. And so I feel like come Aries season, it's going to be time to, I'm hearing for some of you, whatever responsibilities you had with respect to your children, it didn't allow you to date or have love in your life, particularly if you're a single parent. And I feel like now come Aries season, it's time to open up and start dating again. Okay. For others of you, it's just going to be time to have fun and play the field. Let's get another card on this to round out this message. What do we have here? Yeah, toil and labor. This is all about work. So I feel like work is relinquishing for you. It's time to have fun. Some of you, this may have to do with family obligations as well, because you also have that 4th house emphasis with Pisces season. And Pisces, 4th house, that's very much like being of service to your family. Perhaps you were taking care of a family member. Like I said before, you just had a lot of responsibilities, perhaps pertaining to real estate, property that you own, etc. You were doing a lot of this toil and labor and hard work. And now come Aries season, you can sort of relax and have fun. And some of those responsibilities, I keep hearing like relinquishing of responsibilities. So for some of you, if you are not expecting to be relinquished of your responsibilities, it's actually an opportunity. It's actually like a blessing in disguise. So even though you're demoted, or maybe you don't have as much work coming in or whatever, it's because you need the downtime. You need time to have fun. And for some of you, you need to get back out there and find love and partnership and companionship in your life. So this downtime is serving a very good purpose and a particular purpose. All right. Ooh, my nose, my goodness. All right. Now, the second message, which is about mirroring, which is, again, I feel like it has to do with your children, but let the tarot decide. The tarot and spirit decide, I should say. All right. Let's get one on mirroring. Yeah. This has to do with kids. This is the Empress card. This is also the card of Venus. And where is Venus transiting? Your 5th house of self-expression and children. Yes. Something about I'm getting some of you, and I smile as I say this, because some of you, your kids are really like a carbon copy of you, and it brings you such joy. I feel like you're really going to like realize this right now. Like they are literally you. Or some of them, it's like their mannerisms are just like yours. And you're really going to notice that at this time. It's such a beautiful feeling. Others of you, you may be giving birth very soon. Literally, if that's the case for you, congratulations. Some of you may be giving birth during Aries season. Others of you need to address your inner child issues. I feel like your inner child issues are being mirrored back to you either through your children or through other people, maybe even people that you're dating. But you need to address those issues. Those need to be healed at this time. But for some of you, this is just saying like, enjoy your children, spend time with them. This downtime, okay, I'm getting at least part of this message vibes with what I was talking about before. This downtime, this relinquishing of responsibilities is going to give you the opportunity to really vibe with your kids, connect with your kids. So definitely do that. That's where your abundance lies. And it's emotional abundance, because at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 10 of Cups. This is that happy home life. So for some of you, particularly with this 4th house emphasis and 5th house emphasis, there's this energy of family and children that's really coming about right now. Some of you, you're embarking on this, having your own family, or setting the intentions to have your own family right now, especially with Aries season and initiating new things, right? For others of you, it's just this, I'm getting this overall sense of peace and happiness and contentment with your family and your children, which is beautiful. Okay, so let's get one card on this Empress and mirroring here. Okay, I've got 3, but I'm inclined to take them. We've got family room, we've got expectation, and we've got main female. Someone is very much about to give birth. Look at her, expecting. Family room. It's almost like I see family in the waiting room, waiting for this baby to come through. And main female, whoever comes to mind when you see this card, that's who this probably pertains to. Something about a family lineage also, like on the maternal side, is going to come through. Something having to do with that is going to come through, I'm also hearing. But for some of you are expecting. I love this energy. I'm feeling this warm, this energy, this warmthness. Is that a word? Warmthness? I don't know. This warm energy just washing over me right now. Like some of you are having like a beautiful pregnancy, a beautiful family moment. You're getting ready to receive a child. You're seeing how your children mirror you. You're seeing how they are a reflection of you and you of them. Like it's just beautiful family energy I'm getting. So enjoy it. All right. So let's get one on opportunity. What is this message about? Okay. So we've got the 9 of Wands. This speaks to having just a little, it's like you're almost there. There's just a little more left to go. Some of you are battle weary. Some of you have been through a lot, maybe with the responsibilities that you've been taking on in the past, or that you took on in the past. Some of you, it's like you're a little guarded because you've been through a lot. You're tired. You're battle weary, like I said before. And by being guarded, it might cause you to miss out on this opportunity that is here for you, okay? So be vigilant. And remember that there's just a little bit more to go. You need just a little bit more energy. You need to push yourself just a little further in order to take advantage of this opportunity, okay? So keep that in mind. But the opportunity is there for the taking. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I'm sorry if I keep touching my nose. It's just that it's itching like crazy right now. That always happens when I do readings. It's time with the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Opportunity. Some of you are about to embark on a wonderful opportunity that's going to be very abundant for you, particularly with the presence of the Empress here. The Empress is very abundant, gives birth to certain things. Something you've been working on, perhaps a creative endeavor, is about to pay off for you. And you're just like, you've probably been working at this for a while and you're just like, ugh, I'm sort of over this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't see anything coming to fruition. I don't see anything happening. It's about to happen. Have you ever seen that illustration of 2 people and they're like in a mine and they're digging for gold? And one person gives up right before they reach the gold. That's what I'm being shown right now. You've got a pot of gold that's waiting for you, Sag. You've just got to keep at it a little more, particularly with a creative endeavor. So whether it's music, arts, whatever you've created, just push a little more, go a little further, and your pot of gold is waiting for you, because guess what? It's time. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's get one on this Nine of Wands. Look at this. Gift. Yeah, you are almost there, Sag. Almost there. Almost there. Just keep at it. Whatever it is, keep creating, keep marketing, keep putting it out there. It's about to pay off in a big way. And it's something new. Maybe it has to do with children. There's a big emphasis on children for you, Sag. Maybe it's fertility. Maybe you've been undergoing IVF and you're like, when is this going to happen? It's about to happen. Okay? I feel like I want to cry for that message. That message is for someone. Because you've wanted to give up. And it's right there, baby. It's right there. It's right there. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, yeah. I feel like I want to cry right now. Some of you are about to be blessed with a child after you thought that you couldn't have one. After you wanted to give up. You just got to push us a little further. And your pot of gold, you will get your blessing. Trust and believe. Beautiful messages for you, Sag. This is dope. I love this reading for you. Let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading. Let's get one more. Perfect. All right, first card out was opposition, balance. This is giving me that full moon in Libra vibe, which is going to be a balance between being part of a group and expressing yourself. Okay. This self-expression is your 5th house, which is again your house of children. Something's going on around the full moon. Some of you may be giving birth around the full moon. Full moons always produce a lot of babies. So some of you may really go into labor around the 28th, okay? Others of you, it's time for, I feel like others of you, it's sort of time now to move away from identifying with everyone else and start identifying with yourself. Create, express yourself, allow your own personal identity. I know that sounds kind of redundant, but express yourself so that you can see a reflection of yourself in the world around you, if that makes any sense. Second card out, we have Aquarius, the innovator. What house is Aquarius for you? Okay, that is your 3rd house of communication and ideas. The innovator. Some of you need to get really creative with your creative endeavors and think about the future. Again, this keeps coming back to children. There's something about the future and legacy and being creative. Perhaps you're going to need to get creative with how you conceive these children, but there's something about being creative and thinking outside of the box when it comes to your future and how you see yourself in it and how you are going to be reflected in the future, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. And then finally, we have your 10th house of reputation. This is your 10th house. This is also your social standing, okay? Your 10th house is what? Is Virgo. Okay, interesting. So this is about being diligent. Again, it's giving me this energy of this, about having to push just a little farther, okay? Having to work at whatever this creative endeavor is, whether it has to do with kids, whether it has to do with a creative project, whatever you're giving birth to, there's just a little bit more of a push, and you're going to have your pot of gold, you're going to have your blessing, or you're going to have your baby. Sag, this is an overwhelmingly positive reading for you. This is an overwhelmingly positive month. You can give birth to a lot that is an expression of yourself, whether that's in what you create or what you give birth to. All right, Sagittarius, that has been your astro forecast and taroscope for the month of March 2021. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so check those out. Also, while you're checking things out, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead that's just like this. It's a quick and dirty astro forecast and taroscope for the upcoming week. So check that out and don't miss any of that great stuff over on Instagram. Sagittarius, as always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and trust and believe tips are always greatly appreciated, I'll leave that link in the description box as well. Sagittarius, your pot of gold. You've reached the end of the rainbow where you will find your pot of gold. You just got to push just a little further, all right? Have faith and be optimistic. It's going to happen for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time.